alive and everything. I won't be on all that long today because I've got still a bit of a headache and everything, but I thought if people would come on we could chat. So yeah, I've just had a bit of a rough sort of week since last Wednesday. It was fine Wednesday for most of the day. Then either I got a bug from, just catching something, or I had like food poisoning, not like really bad sort of food poisoning that puts you in hospital, but just makes you really sick and everything for days. And then just felt really rough for a couple of days and had a load of other stuff happen. So anyway, I'm on the mend now. So I thought, if anybody was on and wanted to chat, still got like a little bit of a sore throat and stuff like that. But all right, Rich. Again, it's a tiny chat. So the thing that will interest you, Rich, is I've done a video on it already, like only a short, but Cold Steel 1796, as I've said to you about already. But yeah, I reckon this is made by Windlass now, these, because this does seem a bit different than the original one they did, Cold Steel. So people reckon that it's basically where Cold Steel get Windlass to make, the 1796, or they just buy the Windlass one and then pay the rights to have their name put on it to charge a bit more for it. But under the UK price, what I paid for it was basically the same as the Windlass price anyway. So that's cool. But like I said, like the day basically after I got the Sabre, I got ill. So maybe it's cursed. But I was saying that it was the night I got the Sabre, but like I said, it's just one of those typical bloody things because it's sod's law. If ever I get like some time off work, then I should have some free time to enjoy myself. That's always when I catch something. All right, Hype. Other Blake than looking on the Cold Steel website, I have no idea. Yeah. My mum's definitely improved a lot. She seemed to get it like quite bad for one day and then sort of improved within a couple of days sort of thing. Sounds like I have crickets. All right, let me turn this down. What I think that is I had an ambient noise thing playing in the background on my headphones, but that should be quite quiet for the thing, but I've paused that anyway. You've got shingles, that isn't fun. Yeah, but in regards to the left-handed version of it, you'd have to just, I guess, check the Cold Steel retailers or just ask their customer service. That's weird, never had chickenpox. I had chickenpox when I was a little kid. That's good, Rich. But, yeah, so at the moment, got a bit of a sore throat, although I don't think that's really related to any sort of, any of the same bug sort of thing. I think the sore throat is just because where I was vomiting a lot, it obviously takes your throat lining off a bit. So that's the only reason I've had a sore throat, not because of like a cold. And in regards to, like at the moment, I've got a bit of a neck and headache, but that I think is just because my sleep schedule has been so messed up from where I've had this infection or whatever it is, that, that's going to start improving now. But it means obviously that I've had a day today where I've got quite a lot done, but, I've been doing it on limited energy sort of thing. For me, Rajiv, I use the typical thing where I hold the bow in my left hand, draw with my right. Some of the bows I've got are ambidextrous, or are meant to be ambidextrous. It's debatable how ambidextrous some of these things are, because some of the bows I've got that claim to be ambidextrous, and one of my friends has shot them left-handed. I've had other people on YouTube say, no, I'm like a left-handed bow shooter and this isn't ambidextrous at all. It's like a marketing gimmick. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that, you might have to be seriously sort of, like a left-handed sort of bow shooter to actually notice if it's not properly ambidextrous. What's historically mil-spec-fully ambidextrous? Sorry, Hype. When you say old Swiss Norse rifles, do you mean like the really, really old, like handgun, like, you know, handgun sort of, like the sticks with the cannon barrel thing on? Or do you just mean things like the Krag and stuff like that, or like black powder rifles? Personally, for me, I prefer crossbows just because you don't need anywhere near as much training to be good with them. Like, once, if you've got enough training to be good with a bow versus a crossbow, like, the skill level means that bow shooters are actually better. That, you know, like, the bow is technically, it's like skill ceiling, whatever they call it. The crossbow is much easier to use if you've got, like, very little training with it. But, you know, as you get more training with each thing, a proper war bow of most sort of, like, famous war bows for history, like longbows and some of the Chinese bows and everything, start outdoing the crossbows, because bows are technically superior in that they've got a wider span, so they're just more energy efficient. Ah, right, yeah, traditional bows, yeah. Are flipper knives illegal now? I don't know, James. Again, like, flick knives are always illegal here, or have been for ages, but if you mean like the ones where, like the gravity flipper type ones where you just do the hand motion, I don't know. You'd have to read the laws. Like, I haven't bought any new knives. On all honesty, that haven't been just like old bayonets in ages. Especially because the problem is with a lot of our laws, that a lot of the laws are so vague that basically the law doesn't really specify what it's talking about. So you can just get done for it if they want to do you for something, basically. I haven't yet, Rich. I'll have a look, but like I said, I've not been on Discord really at all much. Or like any of the platforms over the last week, just because where I felt like shit, I've not wanted to spend energy looking at Discords and talking to people. So I've only responded to stuff that's been like really important. Because like I said, this the annoying thing is where I've had, you know, a thing, and then we had like the minor house fire. Like, thankfully, because I was in, you know, I was able to stop it, but then we had to have an electrician in and everything. It's just been one of those like really shit weeks in terms of like I've not had any time for YouTube really, all the stuff going on. The problem is, Blake, with a lot of stuff like that is, yeah, because like with obsolete caliber guns, but I reckon they could still do you for it on a technicality if they wanted to. Like, you know, and I'm just saying that like more as a thing that's like anti how the government does stuff. That there's lots of stuff that isn't illegal on its own, but they can pair it with something else to make it a more serious crime. Yeah, just the annoying thing on here is just the text is so bloody small. Let me see if I can get the YouTube live thing up on my screen up here, because if I can at least read your comments better. But yeah, I wish you could change the font size of that on the phone. I've got one of like a really weird comment, so I'm just gonna block somebody, not on this stream, just one of those, you know, just like one of those weird comments that I think it's somebody trying to like kind of dox me. Oh, somebody else has done it. Maybe it's a new bot thing they do, where they but yeah, I'll just get rid of these people. Like, it's either some sort of bot thing, or it's people like trying to do a doxing type thing where they're trying to put my personal details online, but they've got them wrong. But it's still like one of those things that looks really sus when you sort of see the sort of comments like that. Like, you'd never see somebody legitimately commenting something like they're doing, where they're basically just trying to put a random person's name, or maybe they're trying to dox somebody else. But you know, it's one of those sort of things. So anyway, let me see if I can get this stream up properly on my PC so I can read the comments and then just mute it. Right, there we go. So I've paused that, so that means I shouldn't double feedback sort of thing. I can't remember that one, Rich, or maybe I can if it was just one of the ones that was like a spam one. The one that I see the most now is where it's like a picture of a woman's tits, or like a woman's ass, and then it's like, this is a really riveting video, something or other, like, you know, where it's obviously trying to like kind of catfish somebody, you know, where they're spamming it with all these bots on all these channels, hoping that like there's somebody lonely enough to actually think it's a woman, real woman that's into them, so they can then harvest their details, I guess. But yeah, Blake, like the thing I was sort of getting at when I was saying this is that it's like the whole thing where there's like books that are illegal to own in the UK, where the books aren't illegal to own, but if you get done for a very minor crime, they can put terrorism charges automatically against you, because they can say that because you own one of these books, you know, you were intending to do terrorism. I mean, if you had a good lawyer or something, that they probably wouldn't be able to do that. But it's one of those things where it's just like one of those things that only exists because it's a really shitty kind of, you know, legal system where stuff like that exists. Oh, that made me jump. Oh, fuck's sake, everything's going wrong this week. Let's go unplug that. Can't be dealing with that right now. I think that was the air conditioner saying the air conditioner's tank is full, you know, you need to drain it. But again, it's one of those things that it doesn't just beep once. It's like a washing machine and tell you it's full and then shut off. It will just keep beeping really annoyingly. And the YouTube comments are frozen again. Lovely. Unless nobody has commented in the last 5 minutes. But like I said, I'm only going to do a short stream today because I've got a headache at the moment, so I don't want to be on too long, especially looking at small little bits of text. Yeah, sorry, Rich, to ruin your day. I don't think they're real. But yeah, so it depends, Blake, because there's still, again, it like I was saying, it's really one of those things that basically, if they want to do you for it, they'll do you for it, kind of thing. So you need to pay for a fucking good lawyer if you get done, kind of thing. It's like with all the riot sort of stuff recently, where people are being pressured into taking a plea deal rather than trying to fight it in court. So even if it's somebody who's blatantly not guilty of what they're being charged with, they get that, like saying, we'll go lenient on you if you plead guilty, or only give you a year or something, when it's a thing that if it went to a jury, you know, the person would probably never be convicted. Or like looking for stuff they could buy, or because I was going to say, I don't think Russian exports are going to go particularly well at the moment. Well, the thing they were doing is basically anybody that they've arrested, they're basically saying that you're going to be held in custody. If you plead not guilty, you're going to be held in custody for like 2 years, awaiting trial. So basically imprisoned on very flimsy evidence, with you know, for a couple of years before a trial, where, you know, then it will go to trial. Or you could just plead guilty now and you might be out in 6 months, kind of thing. But yeah, and then they're letting violent criminals out to make space in prison for people that said mean things on Twitter. Because, again, I don't want to get too political on these streams, because that's not what they're about at all. But the whole point of what it is that a person who probably admires Stalin got elected as prime minister, and, you know, did the entire thing of when he was running for prime minister, you know, it was all about how he was going to be a candidate for everybody, and it was going to be a fair thing. And now they're in. It's basically, we're going to tax the shit out of random people we decide we're going to do. And, you know, people that upset me are going to be basically fucked. Yeah. It's Keir Stalin and Rachel Thieves, isn't it? The names that have been given to him now. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to really get too political on these, because the problem is with that is that then the entire stream gets turned into people arguing about politics. Yeah, and what they're now doing as well as that, Rich, is they're apparently doing a thing where if you're a single person in a household, they're doing that bedroom tax thing or whatever it is. So basically, if you are a single disabled person in a house, even if it's like a shitty kind of one-bedroom little flat, you know, like a small and Soviet tenement box, sort of shoe box, you know, sort of flat, or like you're a widower or something like that, they're basically, you're going to be charged more, because why aren't you living with more people? I wonder if they'll start beating each other up at the thing, because I did see a thing like that where I can't remember if it was ambassadors or something started like fist fighting in the middle of some sort of thing. Then maybe they'll just start outbidding each other. But, well, the thing is, Rolando, what I'm just saying is, it's like I'm saying, is the whole point of my channel is not politics. That's the thing. Like, we're not here to talk about politics. It often gets brought up, and I don't mind talking about it a bit. But the problem is, this is exactly what's happening now with this stream. Is we're not talking about anything related to weapons, gas masks, or whatever. Now it's just turned into I don't like current government, or I like current government kind of bollocks, which is actually really boring, because it's like that's all you hear on like the news all the time anyway. So the problem is, I think a lot of us want escapism from that when we're doing stuff like this on YouTube. What, the clockwork gun, Blake? Sadly, I've never handled one, but it's a very interesting thing, like caseless ammo sort of guns. But like I said, I'm not going to be on too long on this stream anyway, because like I said, I've been ill recently, so I've already got a bit of a sore throat again, got a headache while I'm doing this, but I just wanted to do a stream to let people know, yeah, I am alive. I'll try and get a video done tomorrow, because at least tomorrow I've not got much on at all. Although, how everything's gone recently, I'll have a day where it should be nothing but free time, and then everything goes wrong that I have to then start dealing with. Well, 3M, it depends, like, depending on what model of the 3M mask, because again, 3M do a few different full face masks. Even the most basic of their full face masks are going to give you a decent level of protection. But again, it's, if you've only got the organic gas filters on it, you're probably going to want to, you know, get the like ABEC P3 sort of style ones. Because if you've just got the organic gas filters, they're only going to stop organic vapors. And then, you know, any other kind of chemical is going to go through. That's why, like, all the military CBRN filters, like the ABEC style ones, combination ones. That's very interesting, yeah. So, yeah, that is interesting. Earlier all day, as soon as I start streaming, you know, and get time to do it, then suddenly I can hear like banging around the side of the house. And I didn't pause it on purpose. It's YouTube doesn't let you alt tab when you're streaming on a phone, which you can do on a PC. So by pulling up our CCTV on my phone. So anyway, like I said, I think I'm going to have to go just because I can keep hearing bumping around the side of the house, and I want to check if it's actually a binman or somebody proper around there, or if it's, you know, like somebody trying to break into the house or whatever. Right, anyway, yeah, so, right, yeah, so like I said, again, another fucking typical thing this week. Everything just that can go wrong will go wrong. So, I'm not going to even try and do a stream tomorrow just to point that out to people now, because, like I said, it's been such a frustrating week. I'll try and get a video done, because at least when you're not doing a live video, it doesn't matter too much. Right, see you then. Now I'll do the proper end stream thing now. There you go.